Is going on, Arizona sports fan family? Welcome into an episode here of the Arizona Sports Fan here live edition here on YouTube. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to be talking everything around the NFC West today, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, if you guys don't know, the Arizona Cardinals didn't play today. We played on Thursday, took care of business, but we saw some things that happened today in the NFL, in the West, that absolutely blew my mind, ladies and gentlemen. And I am here to say, welcome, come one, come all, Arizona Cardinal fans that are out there. Welcome into another episode. I'm here to talk about your favorite team, my favorite team, the Arizona Cardinals. Now, before we get started, definitely do me one huge favor, everybody. Smack that like button. Smack it up. We're on the road to 10K right now, and I can't do it without you guys. Last time I looked, I believe we were somewhere around like 65 more subscribers in order for us to hit that 10K mark. So definitely subscribe it up, like the like button. If you guys haven't followed me on all my social medias, everything is in the description of this video below. All the handles are right here. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, and let's get this show started, ladies and gentlemen. One last kind of plug-in I want to say, if you guys do have a question, the best way to do it is if you do a super chat, just FYI. It's very colorful in the chat, especially a little towards the chat or towards the stream. It gets a little busier, so just FYI, you can definitely interact in the chat. It's very fun. Go back and forth with a lot of different fans out there. So let's get started, everybody. The NFL Week 7 was absolutely crazy today. We saw the Buccaneers get absolutely destroyed by the Panthers. Yes, the same Panthers that we ended up destroying, they got beat. Tom Brady doesn't look the same, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to sit here right now on my soapbox and say Tom Brady probably should have retired. He really should. Now, I could easily put a divorce joke in there, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not that guy. But honestly, Tom Brady doesn't look the same, and he really should contemplate retirement. I know he said he doesn't want to or he's not going to, but yes, it's crazy. Another thing that we ended up seeing today outside the West was that the Packers ended up losing today against the Commanders. What the heck is going on? Aaron Rodgers doesn't look the same either. Now, granted, yes, he did lose one of his biggest weapons out there, Devontae Adams, and it obviously shows. It's just crazy, right? It's crazy all around. Now, we are seeing the Giants coming to be that team. So kudos to the Giants. I know they've been struggling for quite some time. And yeah, right now there is a Sunday night football game. It is the Dolphins versus the Steelers. Right now, Dolphins are leading them over 13-3. So yeah, kudos to that. But what we want to completely focus on, ladies and gentlemen, I want to focus on the NFC West, right? The Arizona Cardinals took care of business, right? We beat a team that we should have beaten, and that is the New Orleans Saints. We should have beat them, and we did, thankfully. Now, the Arizona Cardinals right now are finding themselves at 3-4. But if you take a look at the rest of the division, ladies and gentlemen, we got the San Francisco 49ers at 3-4. We got the Rams at 3-3. And then we got the Seattle Seahawks at 4-3. Wow. Wow. Crazy. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that we're going to be finding ourselves right now after week 7 saying to ourselves that the Seattle Seahawks are the first in the division? Wow. I saw them playing the Chargers this week, and I actually went to Twitter and I said, they're not going to beat the Chargers. That's what I went out and said. They have proved me wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Geno Smith has been playing very good football. Very good football. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that, the Seattle Seahawks are going to win the West. I still do think it's very tight, right? I still do think it's a very tight race right now, divided by 1 or 2 games. Now, the Arizona Cardinals didn't do themselves any favors. Right now, we are 0-2 in the division right now with a loss against the Rams and a loss against the Seattle Seahawks. So we're not doing ourselves any favors. But in terms of record goes, the Arizona Cardinals are right there. We're 3-4. At least as of right now. The San Francisco 49ers are 3-4. The Rams didn't play this week, so they're sitting at 3-3. So they're sitting at the number 2 spot. But I could honestly say that we're going to be seeing a lot of different leaders as the weeks go on. We're going to see a lot of different leaders as of right now. Now, if we take a look at the standings for the entirety of the NFC conference, just the NFC conference, we have the Eagles at 6-0. We have the Vikings at 5-1, and then we have the Seahawks at 4-3, and then the Buccaneers at 3-4. No, I'm sorry. That's not correct. Oh, it's giving me the leaders of their division. That makes sense. Okay, gotcha. So Eagles 6-0, the Vikings at 5-1, leading their division. Seahawks at 4-3, leading their division, and then the Buccaneers at 3-4, leading their division as well. So it's crazy, y'all. It's definitely very, very crazy to see it. Right? Aaron Rodgers is struggling. The Arizona Cardinals are 3-4, but we're still there. It's crazy. I never would have expected this NFC to be as tight as it is. The only really like team that's kind of looking like a front runner right now is the NFC East. Like the teams in the NFC East are really the only ones that are kind of looking like front runners in my opinion. Now, obviously not talking about the Commanders, but if you look at the Eagles, the Giants, and the Cowboys, those ones definitely seem to have maybe the teams that are going to be more going into the, to the playoffs, like the wild card positions. It's still early though. We still have a lot of games left. So I'm very curious to figure out what this tight race is going to look like here for the Arizona Cardinals. But as of right now, next week, we are going to be playing the 5-1 Vikings. So that's going to be interesting. They're currently right now sitting on a four game winning streak. The Arizona Cardinals finally won their very first home game in a very, very long time. And I'm hoping this is going to get us in the right direction, right? We got DeAndre Hopkins back. We're going to be getting, I'm hoping we're going to get James Conner back. It looked like he was day to day, and it looked like he was going to start against this last game, but they wanted to hold him out at least one more game. I'm hoping and praying that we're going to be getting him at least into this Vikings game because fingers crossed, we definitely could use his help. Yeah, it's a tight one. It's a tight race here in the West. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Do you guys think that the Seahawks are that great, or do you think that they're just lucky? Like, what are your guys' thoughts on the Seattle Seahawks as of right now? Now, obviously, the big breaking news that happened this last Thursday was the San Francisco 49ers ended up trading for McCaffrey, and we didn't see a good dose of McCaffrey, but let's be honest here. McCaffrey was traded in Thursday, and he suited up and played a game on Sunday. So I don't think any of us really expected for him to get a big workload. And he still kind of showed out. Like he actually had some very, very good runs out there. So we'll see. We got my guy over here, Noah, coming up here. He says, I think they are legit. Guys, if you guys do not already subscribe to the NFC West Network, I highly recommend you do so. Every Tuesday, we go live on the NFC West Network. We have a Seahawk fan, and that is Noah. We have a Cardinal fan, that is me. We got a 49er fan, that's CG Ruthless Sports, and then we got a Rams fan in Payo Time. If you want to subscribe, every Tuesday we go live. We look into the NFC West, get their takes, and we get a lot of people saying some crazy things out there. So if you want to definitely subscribe to that, in the description of this video is going to be the link to the NFC West Network. Click on that, subscribe it up. We're on the road to 1,000 on that channel, and could definitely use your help. Let's get to the comments here. We have Bird Gang saying Seahawks are lucky. I think so too, but in order for us to actually talk right with the chests puffed out, we need to get to the top of the division, and it's so darn close as of right now that I want to be at the top. I want to be there, and with a couple games, we can be there. But the Arizona Cardinals have a pretty tough matchup right now against the Vikings. Now, after the Vikings, who do you think they play, ladies and gentlemen? That is the Seattle Seahawks. So I'm curious. I'm curious to figure out with this 2-game stretch because we got the Seahawks after the Vikings, the Seahawks, we got the Rams, and then we got the 49ers. We got back-to-back division games. And we all know how these division games are, right? They're played very, very tough. So it's going to be interesting. This next 3 to 4 weeks stretch for the Arizona Cardinals is going to be very telling to see how it's going to shake out for the Cardinals, right? Are we going to be contenders or are we not going to be contenders? We'll have to kind of wait and see how it all shakes out. Let's see what CB has to say. So CB says, thanks. Oh, sorry. It says, dang, the Cards as a franchise as a whole haven't won in Minnesota since the 70s. Well, hope they snap the streak just like we did, getting a home win and beating the Carolina in week 4. I hope so too. I didn't know we haven't won there in the 70s. Interesting. Okay, that gives me a little bit more worrisome. I'm going to have to look at the stats here myself, but thank you so very much, CB, for that. We have Kenny saying Seattle has a good coach. Well, Pete Carroll has a Super Bowl under his belt, right? I mean, we definitely can't take away that Super Bowl from him. He's definitely deserved that Super Bowl. But, man, I don't know. This is tough, man. This division is going to be tight. It's going to be a tight race. I'm curious to figure out how it's going to shake out here. We got Bird Gang up here. He says, agree. It's so close in the NFC West. Let's take it one game at a time. I 100% agree with you. We got Terry. What's going on, Terry? Appreciate you for being here. Michael, what's up, Michael? We got a Seahawk fan up in here. He says, we just demolished the 4-2 Bolts after we beat the touchdown-less Cards. Oh, here it goes. Here goes the smack talking. Okay. So I will be wearing a mustache. Just FYI, come November, the beard's going away and the mustache is coming in. I ended up losing a bet to my guy Noah over here. But the next time we meet the Seahawks, I'm very curious to figure out how it's going to shake out because we do have DeAndre Hopkins coming back. So we will see. We'll see how it all shakes out. As of right now, I can't really say very much. I mean, you're correct. We didn't score a touchdown, but as of right now, TBD. We'll see you in the next week. And Greg Joseph, we trust. Jordan P, what's up, Jordan? Says Minnesota has 4 wins by 1 score against 2 backup QBs, Goff and Fields. They aren't that good. I mean, but weaponly, like the weapons that they have, they're a good team. I know that a lot of people want to discredit the Vikings, but they're a good team. They are. I mean, Kirk Cousins isn't good. Like he isn't great, but he's good. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can, say some things about the teams that they beat. But, I mean, we haven't beat a team that has a winning record. So, I mean, it can kind of go both ways. It's any given Sunday, right? The Arizona Cardinals need to come out here and they need to show up. Like, that's just the bottom line. I've kind of given up that whole narrative that the Arizona Cardinals are, like, I don't know, like just one game at a time is really what I'm thinking, at least at this point. Dakota, what's up? He says, Thursday's my birthday. Awesome. Well, happy early birthday. Appreciate you. KG says, I hope we go for the offensive lineman and a quarterback in the draft. Like, we're already talking about the draft already. Woo! Okay. Wait, KG, let me ask you a question. What is your thoughts of the Arizona Cardinals right now in the season? Do you think pack it up, it's over, or do you think we can be a playoff team? What are your thoughts? Because you were talking about the draft. Sheesh. We're barely going into week 8. Sheesh. CB, what's up, CB? You know Pat P is going to want to snatch a pick against us or shoot for 100%. Oh, yeah. Patrick Peterson's definitely going to want to do that for sure. Ray, I see you there, Ray. We'll definitely take care of that, man. Take care of that. Bird Gang says playoff team. I mean, it's still open, right? It's so... This team is very confusing to me. I'm not going to lie to you, ladies and gentlemen. I want to have the confidence. I want to have the level of confidence that some fans have. I do. I want to have that. It's so hard to say this with this Cardinal team. I don't know what we are. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't like the idea of the Arizona Cardinals being good because DeAndre Hopkins comes back, right? Because if that's the case, then why do we have our guru of, offensive mind head coach? Like, why do we have him? Like, if it doesn't matter that he's the head coach and it could be literally any head coach in the world, right? Why do we have Cliff Kingsbury? Because obviously it just really matters if DeAndre Hopkins is on the field. So, like, why do we have our guru of a head? You know what I mean? It's just, I want to see what we look like against the Vikings. I hope we win. I really do hope we win. It's going to be a tough matchup. Every time we play the Vikings, I feel like we don't do very well. Let's take a look. Let me see if I can do some research here real quick. I have a website that I'd like to take a look at that kind of gives me the history between Arizona Cardinals and the Minnesota Vikings. So the last time we played against the Vikings was in 2021. We beat them, right? We beat them by 1 point. That's when they missed the kick. So 34-33, the Arizona Cardinals won. In 2008, the Vikings won. 2018, they won. 2016, they won. 2015, we won 23-20. And in 2012, 21-14, we won. I mean, honestly, it kind of seemed, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. They won. I apologize. They won. So from the last 5 games, we're 2-3 against the Vikings. 2-3, which isn't bad, right? We can make it 500. That's not bad at all, honestly. So we had their number 2021. They beat us in 2018 and 2016. We beat them in 2015, and then they beat us in 2012. Okay, so the last 5 times, the Arizona Cardinals are 2-3. So not bad, not bad, not great, but also not bad either, right? Anthony says the trade deadline is next week. Who would you want us to trade for? Well, I mean, to be honest with you, Anthony, and I'm going to be completely 100% transparent with you, I want to get through this week first. I want to get through this week first. And that's going to be this Viking game first. Because after this Viking game, we have the 31st and the 1st to make a trade, right? The trade deadline is on November the 1st. Is it 4 p.m. Eastern time, which is 1 p.m. here in Phoenix. So I want to figure out, are we going to be buyers or are we going to be sellers? Now, granted, if we lose against the Vikings, I don't think the season's quite 100% over yet because of how bad the whole NFC is looking. The only really team that's kind of looking to be like, okay, they're going to the playoffs, at least as of right now, is the Eagles and the Giants. Because everybody else is doing pretty darn bad on its own as well. Like, there's nobody really looking that good other than the NFC East, right? And it's really weird because they were known as the NFC least at one point. And honestly, I don't know. So I would love to give you an answer. All I can kind of give to you is I can tell you one position that I really would want the Arizona Cardinals to target, and that is a nose tackle position. Rashad Lawrence ended up going down. I know Licky Fotu is going to be the guy that kind of step in. We don't really know the update on Rashad Lawrence, at least as of right now, but that's one position I would love the Arizona Cardinals to really address. Is going to be that nose tackle position. That's the position I really want them to address. Yes, I can also say a notable another position I would want is going to be offensive lineman, maybe getting some more depth to protect Kyler. So I feel like that would be kind of cool as well, but there's not a specific player that I have in mind. If you look at the Panthers are automatically seeming to be that team that are selling off a lot of their key pieces, but they also were that team to decline a lot of first-round picks for Brian Burns, right? When I ended up releasing that video about are we buyers or are we sellers, there's so many people out there saying, get Brian Burns. But he's not going to go anywhere, at least per the latest reports that were coming out for the Panthers. So we'll see, right? We'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out. Let's keep it reading here. Let's see. We have goal line. Says I can very well see us going 4-2 without Brown, and then 4-1 with DeAndre Hopkins and Brown after the hopefully. Shoot, I mean, if you have us going 4-4, 4 wins and 4 wins, I mean, that put us at what? 8-11 wins, right? I will take that in a heartbeat. I mean, granted, my expectations for the season is still my expectation for the season is still to win a playoff game, right? It shouldn't be anything less for anybody here on the chat. The playoff win is what the expectations should be. Now, if we win the NFC West by any miracle chance, I will take that as well. But that should be the next step. Winning the NFC West as well as winning a playoff game, at least in my mind. Jen up in the house. What's up, Jen? Appreciate you for me. I haven't seen you in a while. We got Lennon saying, get Sue. I would love Ndamukong Suh. I think that would be great. Jose says, we the best team. We're winning the division. Oh, right. I mean, there's the confidence. Okay, there you go. Kenny says, I saw an article that Billy Price and Cody Ford played very well. So keep in mind too, Kenny, that we played the Saints. So they might have played very well. I do believe that the Kyler Murray wasn't under duress at all during that game, but also please keep in mind that it was the Saints that we played. So I want to see what it's going to look like against a Vikings defensive line. That's what I'm really curious to figure out. So if Cody Ford can hold up very well, and if Billy Price needs to play because Rodney Hudson decides to, that he's still hurt, right? He's got a pinky issue or whatever the issue is. Then if he does show up and they do very well, then I think I would be a little bit more happy, like, right? A little bit more like optimistic. But because we played the Saints and that team's in shambles, I don't know. I'm going to kind of hold my optimism a little bit, if that makes sense. But I do think that they played very well. I do think they played well. We have somebody saying we need to steal Roquan Smith from the Bears. Here's the thing. If you get Roquan Smith, you're going to have to do away with either Zaven or Isaiah, right? If you want Roquan Smith, you're going to have to do away with either Zaven and Isaiah. I liked what I've seen from Zaven. Isaiah has been doing very well. I mean, that's tough. That's very tough. I know somebody said that maybe we should trade away Marco because his value is probably the highest it's ever going to be right now with this pick 6. You might be right there. And maybe Isaiah Simmons is probably in the same boat, but I don't know. Like, what do you guys think? Do you guys think we should do away with Isaiah or Zaven? Because if you're getting Roquan, I mean, what's the point of having both of those guys? You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm there yet. Israel says Vikings got a weak interior pass rush. Let's take a look at the Vikings depth chart real quick. Vikings depth chart 2022. All right, let's take a look at their defense here real quick. 3-4 defense. Dalvin Tomlinson, nose tackle, Harrison Phillips, Jonathan Bullard. He sounds familiar. Daniil Hunter, Eric Kendricks. Oh, snap. Jordan Hicks is over there. Dude, I forgot about Jordan Hicks. Bro, Jordan Hicks is of the Vikings. Bro, I forgot about Jordan Hicks going to the Vikings. 2022 stats for Jordan Hicks, 36 solo tackles, 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble, and 1 interception for Jordan Hicks. Dang, I completely forgot about Jordan Hicks going over there. Let's take a look at Daniil Hunter. 21 solo tackles, 3 sacks. I've always liked Daniil Hunter. I really did. Let's look at Dalvin Tomlinson. 5 solo tackles, 1.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble. That's a big man right there, man. That's a big man. I see Harrison Phillips. 7 solo tackles, 0.5 sacks. Nothing too crazy with him. Jonathan Bullard. That sounds very familiar. 8 solo tackles. Nothing really crazy with him. Eric Kendricks. 27 solo tackles. That's kind of it, though. They have Zadarius Smith, too? What the heck? 5.5. They have Zadarius Smith? What the heck? Yo, I forgot they had this. Thanks for reminding me about looking at their depth chart, because this is the first time I've been looking at it right now. Zadarius Smith, Daniil Hunter. I mean, their line is pretty decent. Their line is pretty decent. I mean, we'll see, right? I mean, if Billy Price is the guy, hopefully, fingers crossed, right? He can protect them. As well as Cody Ford as well. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Dang, okay. Israel says Hicks in Pat P's revenge game. They're going to try to treat it like that. That's for darn sure. They're going to definitely try to treat it that way for sure. And this is at their home as well. Interesting. And we know what their offense looks like, right? I mean, obviously, Kirk Cousins, nothing too crazy there. But Dalvin Cook, even their second string running back's really good. And Alexander Madison, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, KJ Osborne. Interesting. Yo, thanks for telling me to look at their line, because honestly, I don't think they're that bad. In terms of like production, I think they're putting up some pretty good numbers. Zadarius Smith's, 5.5 sacks already. It's pretty good. Daniil Hunter, 3 sacks, 21 solo tackles. That seems to be kind of the extent, though, just looking at those two, honestly. And obviously, when you're looking at the inside linebackers, Jordan Hicks and then Eric Kendricks. Interesting. All right, interesting. Who's going to be guarding Justin Jefferson? Marco? Oh, man, that's going to be tough, bro. That's going to be tough. That's going to be really tough. I mean, I would only assume Byron, right? I would only assume Byron. They have Smith and they have Hunter. The rest of the defense isn't very good. Israel says Marco with the laughing face. Bird Gang, or what did Bird Gang say? Pat already tried his revenge game. If y'all remember, too late. Well, I mean, yeah, we got that last win against them, right? That kicker shanked that kick, man. Oof, that would have been heartbreaking if they got that one for sure. Jose says Hopkins going to be breaking all sorts. Love it. Let's look at their cornerbacks right now. I don't think they're really I don't think their cornerbacks are really that. Oh, Patrick Peterson, right? Got Patrick Peterson, Cameron Dantzerler. Don't really know who he is. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know their cornerbacks other than Patrick Peterson. I mean, I mean, this might be a shootout. Might be. Katie says trade for a good corner. I mean, everybody was talking about Greedy. Everybody was talking about Greedy Williams. It's just nothing ever happened. Browns lost today too, so maybe they might be sellers. You never know. Brian AZ says, do you think if we lose to the Vikings? That's a great question. That's a fantastic question. That's a fantastic question. It's so hard to say, and the biggest reason why, and I'm not trying to escape your question, but because the NFC is so darn weak, they might not get rid of like the big stars. Like I can see the Arizona Cardinals make some trades, right? I can see them make some trades because I mean, I think we need it, right? Nose tackle, I feel like is huge, but I think we could address that with not trades, but getting Ndamukong Suh. I feel like that would be a huge win. Or offensive line, I feel like a guard or somebody that would help protect Kyler a little bit more with some depth. I feel like the Arizona Cardinals can still make some trades. I think we still can. Now, are we going to be buyers or sellers? If we lose against the Vikings, it would lean more towards sellers, but just being that the NFC, like in general, is just so weak, and the NFC West, like literally, guys, we're 3-4. We're in the last of the division, but it's us at 3-4, the 49ers at 3-4. We got the Rams that just had the bye week at 3-3. And let's be honest, the Rams don't look very great, right? Yes, they beat us, but the Rams don't look that good. They don't. And then you have the Seattle Seahawks sitting at 4-3 right now. I don't know about you guys. I don't think the Rams look that great. Even when we played them, they didn't look that great. They're going through a lot of issues with their offensive line right now. And I do think that that's going to be the biggest, weakest point for them. But they are sitting number 2 in the NFC West right now. So I guess kudos to where kudos is due. But I mean, the West is still pretty much wide open. It is. The NFC is extremely weak. If we lose to the Vikings, who are 5-1, our season isn't over. And see, and that's the thing. That's the tricky part right there, right? We might be in the end of the NFC West again, but like it's like 2 games down. So it's like it's still wide open. So I don't know. It's really hard to say. It really is. It's really tough to say. KG says, I think we go 8-8. If we go 8-8, do you think that's playoffs? If we go 8-8, being how weak this conference is, we have to be ready for these guys. Yes, I agree. Have you seen our cap? Sue isn't getting. No, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, Sue is still out there though, right? Yeah, I think Sue is still a free agent right now. And yeah, I agree with what you're saying, but I mean, yeah, no, I mean, you're right. I think he's still a free agent. Yeah, I think he's still a free agent right now. But you're right. Pertaining to like what we have on cap, we would have to open up some cap space in order for us to bring a player like that. You're right. Sorry, I just got a notification. MLB is happening. A lot of stuff. All right, let's keep on looking at the chat here. Bird Gang, what's up, Bird Gang? I think we beat the Vikings away. We get better. We have better luck away than we do. Yeah, we got better luck away than we do there. Sue wanted 10 million to come back. Yeah. And see, and that's the thing. Like, look at our cap real quick. Arizona Cardinals. What are we at right now? Like single digits? What are we at? Single digits, I meant like, where's our cap? Injury reserve, practice squad, dead money. What are we at right now? Total cap liability. Oh, good God. Oh, never. I was looking at the cap. Okay. So estimated from over the cap, we have like 4.5 million. Yeah. Not happening. Not happening. Let's see what AJ Green is getting paid, right? AJ Green. Y'all, AJ Green isn't getting paid. He's getting his cap is like 2 million, y'all. I still want to cut him. Don't get me wrong. I still want to cut him, but dang, that's not gonna help at all. Dude, and Dominican Sue would be huge for the Arizona Cardinals. We got 4.5 mil in cap space left. Oh my goodness gracious. Estimate, of course, estimate. We'll get all our starters back and healthy. We can make the playoffs, hopefully, because I mean, playoffs is obviously our goal, right? Playoffs is our goal. Winning a playoff game is another goal. So, I mean, the West is obviously still attainable. Don't let anybody else tell you any different. Literally, we're one game away. We're one game away. And we've played 7 games so far. We're 3-4. 7, 11, no, 10 games, right? 10 games left, right? 10 games left. Shoot, yeah, there's 10 games left right now. 10, yeah, 10 games. There's 10 games left right now. No, that's the thing. I'm not saying trade AJ, cut him, cut your losses. But I mean, you're probably gonna have to wait till like Hollywood comes back, though. Like, I doubt it's gonna happen anytime soon. Because on top of that, Anton Wesley is hurt too. So it's like, yeah. NFC East is stacking up wins. I mean, you're right there. You're 100% right there too. Yeah. I mean, eventually we can't keep using the excuse of the NFC's weak, right? You're right. You're 100% correct. Because as of right now, the East looks really good. You got the Eagles at 6-0, I believe. Let's look at the standings over there real quick. NFC East. You're right on the stacking up wins though, for sure. The Eagles 6-0, the Giants 6-1, and then the Cowboys 5-2 right now. Granted, that like 5-2, we're only 2 games away from that, but like, yeah, they're stacking up wins over there for sure. Did Andy Isabella get picked up? He ended up getting, what was it? He got picked up in the practice squad for the Raiders. Yeah, he ended up getting picked up from the practice squad to the Raiders. I'm not sure if he got elevated or not. But last I heard, practice squad to the Raiders is what I heard last. The reason why the NFC or why this division is so tough, because the NFC teams always have really tough schedules. Well, I mean, the AFC West doesn't help, right? That we have to play the AFC West. That's a tough division, man. That's a tough division right there. Obviously, the Chiefs looks like the front runners in that division. I honestly thought the Broncos were going to be a lot better than they were. They suck. They look absolutely terrible. And then you have the Chargers over there. But that AFC West, I thought was going to be a little bit better than they are. But the Chargers are 4-3, the Raiders are 2-4, and the Broncos are 2-4. So like, yeah, it's the Broncos are garbage, man. The Seahawks freaking got away with, dude, it's wild, man. It's wild, because that was big breaking news. Do you remember that? I still remember it, man. I still remember that when Russell went away, they're like, oh my God, that's going to make the Broncos contenders. Shoot, that's far away from the contenders I have seen, man. Broncos look terrible, and they have so many primetime games. They look garbage. The Chiefs sitting at 5-2, and the Chargers at 4-3. So I mean, obviously two front runners right there. But other than that, like that seems to be the extent. Raiders are trash. Brian says, I never thought the Jets and the Giants would have a better record than us. Welcome to 2022, my guy. Welcome to 2022. Yeah, it's absolutely wild, right? It's absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. Let's keep looking at the comments here. Broncos, yes, Broncos are 2-5. KG says playoffs just mean KK will stay. Just hopefully we don't make the playoff. That's fair. I mean, I see where you're coming from. I mean, the schedule's still pretty tough on its own though. Like it's not going to be a cakewalk. We have like back-to-back divisions. Like after the Vikings, we got the Seahawks, we got the 49ers, and then we got the Rams again. So like back-to-back divisions. It's going to be pretty tough. Pretty tough. I mean, the 49ers are overrated and the Rams kind of suck. I do believe with the Rams. I do think that the Rams aren't very good. I mean, obviously because their line is pretty trash. But for the 49ers, I think they're a better team than they're letting to believe. Keep in mind, they played the Chiefs, y'all. Like the Chiefs beat the living crap out of us too. Like the Chiefs beat us. Like they destroyed us. And almost kind of the same coin right there, right? Where the Chiefs are playing the 49ers in our division, they destroyed them too. And it sucks, but the excuse of, hey, it's the Chiefs, it's coming to be a little bit more apparent than we want it to be. But yeah, the Chiefs had their way with them, and so did they with us as well. Can't wait to see the Vikings lose. Well, the good thing is that we don't have to wait very long on Sunday, right? When we watch the Vikings game, it's going to be the very first game. So right at 10 o'clock AZ time / Pacific time, we have Vikings versus Cardinals. So that's going to be pretty exciting. Anderson, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what DeAndre Hopkins and Anderson is going to look like. I really am. Yeah, obviously we didn't see very much of Anderson in this last game, and it makes sense. We just literally traded for him, and I didn't expect him to have a heavy dose, but I'm excited to see AJ Green get notched down, right? That's what I'm excited more than anything, to get AJ Green notched down. Because I'm tired of AJ Green. Like, literally, like I don't want AJ Green here anymore. Like, literally, I do not want AJ Green here anymore. I don't. So we'll see. I just want to see DeAndre Hopkins with Hollywood. Like, that's what I really want to see. Hollywood and DeAndre Hopkins together. Like, that's my ideal. It's just, man, we got to wait, like, what, another 5 more weeks at least? Sad. It's very sad. We do play the whole division. Yeah, exactly. Yep, James. Yeah, 100%. So after this Vikings game, we got 3 division games back to back to back. It's going to be tough, right? It's not going to be as easy. And I know a lot of people want to, obviously make fun of the 49ers, right? Because they lost against the Chiefs and they lost pretty badly, right? They made this big swing play against the Kansas to get McCaffrey. But McCaffrey literally just got there 2 days, like 2 or 3 days ago. So being that he had that much impact, I still do think the 49ers do have they're a threat. I don't think the Rams are. It's just we need to take care of business with the Rams. I'm getting tired of losing against them. Like, I really am. Really am. Tampa Bay, yeah, dude. Brady does not look the same, y'all. I don't like. I feel bad about what's happening in his personal life. I really do. I really do. But man, he just doesn't have it. He just doesn't have it at all. It's crazy to see it. It really is. It's crazy to see it. Tom Brady today got whipped by the Panthers. And I mean whipped by the Panthers. Nuts. Jordan says Robbie's going to catch a lot of bombs by Kai. I hope so, man. I hope so. The good thing is that obviously Robbie Anderson is not the small wide receiver that we have all the time, right? Robbie Anderson's going to give you that height that we all want. Over 6 foot, but also can run deep down the field. So I'm excited to see what that's going to look like. Give me more Greg Dortch. Give me, obviously, we're going to see some Rondell Moore. It's obvious we're going to see Rondell, but I want to see some more Greg Dortch. Just kind of what I'm excited to see. How far in the playoffs do you think we make it? Let's make the playoffs first, Bird Gang. Let's make the playoffs first. You know what I mean? Because we do also play the Buccaneers as well. I think it's in Christmas. So that might be a game that I might be giving away too, because it's Christmas Day. So I don't think I'm going to go to the game on Christmas. So we got some really good games coming through as well, right? So after the back-to-back divisions, we still got the Chargers to play. We're going to play the Broncos. We all know the Broncos absolutely are garbage. So we'll see how that kind of comes out. Bro, you're preaching to the choir, man. You're preaching to the choir in terms of not having Rodrigo Blankenship, right? And rolling with Matt Amendola for 2 weeks. Like, how freaking absurd is that? And did you guys hear what Steve Keim said? Steve Keim said, "Oh, well, Matt Amendola was the most dependable guy out there, and we want." And then the next week he came through, and then he was like, "We just want him to gel." No, like, it's crazy. Like, Rodrigo Blankenship should have been the guy to begin with. Ladies and gentlemen, there was so much excitement. Like, the moment I brought up the idea of us bringing in players, right? Bringing in players to get kicking opportunities. On Instagram, there was so much people saying, "Yes, get Rodrigo Blankenship. Let's go, Blankenship. Blankenship's gonna be the guy. He should be the guy from here on out. Let's go." Blah blah blah. This and that, and then we signed Matt Amendola. Like, dang! And not only that, Matt Amendola comes back a second game. It's like, oh. Steve Keim, get your stuff together, man. Get your stuff together. I do honestly believe we could probably have won one more game more than we have, right? With Blankenship over Matt Amendola. But like that's on Keim. Like, that's absolutely on Keim. Like, what are you watching? Like, what are you looking at? Like, right? He's the most dependable guy that you're seeing there, like kicking the ball. Seriously? Like, Keim? Seriously? Because Blankenship, yes, he has missed one. Was it like one or two? But he knocked in like a 50-yarder. It's huge. Huge. The idea of signing Matt Amendola and not bringing Blankenship is crazy to me still. It's absolutely crazy to me. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. I think the Cardinals will all slaughter. Oh, they said we'll get slaughtered. Okay, you said they will slaughter. Okay, gotcha. Hopefully. Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers looks pretty bad. I mean, they lost his. He lost his number one wide receiver, right? And Devontae. And I guess, right, it kind of looks the same with Kyler too, right? You lose your number one wide receiver. I guess it kind of looks the same, right? It's that much of a big impact. Because he lost Devontae, Kyler lost DeAndre Hopkins. And yeah, I mean, I guess that just doesn't look the same. Doesn't look the same at all. Here we go. Super chat coming in here from Seth Carpenter, coming up clutch with the first $10 donation of the night. Appreciate it. I haven't done this in a while, but thank you so very much for the super chat. He says, "Hey, Mike, I can't believe this Sunday games against the Panthers and Buccaneers game. So I think Tom Brady, he forces." I mean, you might be right, man. It's sad, right? It's a sad situation. Tom Brady has looked very bad. It looks very bad. And his age is really coming out. Like, just the way that he's looking now, you can tell that his age is coming up to him. It really is. And to think that the guy is like, it's sad. I don't want to talk too much about it because, I mean, I'm married as well. And to be like, to kind of put my stuff out there and to have people talk about it, I wouldn't want people to talk about obviously my religion. So I don't want to talk too much about it, but man, in terms of the football field, he's looking pretty bad. I'm not going to lie to you. And it didn't help the fact that he lost against the Panthers, right? That's probably one of the worst things here. When does Hard Knocks start? Let me look that up. When does Hard Knocks start? Isn't November, right? Take a look. When does Hard Knocks start? And I'm talking about the Cardinals version, obviously not the Lions version. Do we have a date? I know it's November, right? Let's see here. Does anybody have a date on when this is going to come up? I'm trying to look for it here. I could have sworn it was November. Here we go. November 9th. Okay, so Wednesday, November the 9th is when Hard Knocks is going to start. Okay, perfect. Appreciate you, Leak. Thank you. Okay, so that's, I said November the 9th. Okay, so what we're going to do from here on, obviously, I'm not going to be showing the Hard Knocks on here. I'm not going to be showing it because obviously copyright purposes, but I will be doing a video reacting to that Hard Knocks episode. So keep that in mind too. Keep that in mind too, that we are getting content for days, ladies and gentlemen, just coming fast at you. Just coming fast at you, just FYI. Hard Knocks, we're going to be reacting to Hard Knocks episodes because I'm so curious, y'all. I'm so curious to figure out how that's going to look like. Like, we've always seen what the locker room looks like when we win, right? We always see it. When we win, we see what the locker room looks like. But I want to see what it looks like when we lose. Like, that's what I'm looking forward to when we lose. What's that adversity looks like when we lose? Like, that's what I'm curious about. And we're going to be able to see it with Hard Knocks. So I'm stoked. So yeah, November 9th is when it's going to be coming up. And I believe it's Wednesdays. So Wednesdays, November the 9th. And I believe that's what the schedule is going to be going forward. So cool. I'm excited. Let's see here. We got better offensive weapons than the Chiefs. Why can't we put up points like them? We need an offensive scheme. KG. I mean, that's a great question there, KG. Honestly, it's easier than we think. Cardinal fans are just so complacent. I guess that's the best way to describe it. Cardinal fans are complacent. It's what it is. If we go to the playoffs, Cliff's not going anywhere. It's just facts. It's factual. Cardinal fans have never gotten success and sustainability. That's we're never going to get our answer. And it's a really simple one. Patrick Mahomes is better than Kyler. It's just facts. Andy Reid is better than Cliff. It's just facts. That's just the deciding factor there. That's just the deciding factor there. We do have better weapons. You're 110% right. Ertz, I would put Ertz with Kelsey. Now, yeah, I would give Kelsey the edge up, the leg up over Ertz. I agree there, but Ertz is equally great, right? Hall of Famer, DeAndre Hopkins, Marquise Hollywood Brown. Why are we struggling? That's a great question. Fantastic question. Patrick Mahomes is better than Kyler. Andy Reid is better than Cliff. Simple as that. Let's get this another super chat from Seth. Appreciate you. Thank you so very much for supporting the channel. Thank you a lot. He says, "Hey Mike, so Hard Knocks starts for the Arizona Cardinals. Okay, but it might get. Oh, cool, Mo. Awesome. Congrats. And you getting married. Awesome. Congrats. Appreciate the super chat though. Thank you a lot. Arizona Cardinals will be fine. Hop is back. We are going on a run. Hopefully, from your lips to the football god's ears. I hope so. Jose, we should have drafted Mahomes. I mean, it's funny because after we already seen the effect, we heard what BA come out and say that he really wanted to get Mahomes, and obviously Kansas City ended up jumping all the way up, and it just never, it obviously didn't happen. But yeah, I mean, it's always, shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? It's always shoulda, coulda, woulda. I'm not a fan of Kime either. I'm not a fan of him, so we'll see. That's why BA left. Probably. I shouldn't have drafted Brady. Me and you both, James. Me and you both, man. We're both screwed by drafting Brady. Facts. I truly believe Kyler could be top 3 quarterback within the league. I agree with you. I agree. I 100% agree. we haven't untapped Kyler Murray's potential. We haven't. And I think that's the biggest downfall. The biggest thing that we've seen in terms of like what Kyler Murray can be was last year when we were 7-0. That's what Kyler Murray can be. But that's the thing, like, I honestly do truly believe that if he did have somebody else, maybe in a different offensive coordinator, maybe a different scheme, I think he can flourish. I really do. I really do. I do see somebody talking about Kyler Murray's contract. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, in 2 or 3 years, Kyler Murray's contract is going to be very minimals. It's going to be pennies. Trust me when I say that. The moment that Joe Burrow gets paid, the moment that Justin Herbert gets paid, and all the other young quarterbacks that are coming up, Kyler Murray's contract is going to be minimal. Trust me when I say that. The cap space is going to go up, and it's going to be minimal. Yes, he's still getting a big hit. It's just the thing that the Arizona Cardinals decided to do. I feel like Sean Payton is going to be our next coach. In order for Cliff to get fired, we're going to have to start losing like a lot. You know what I mean? And I do think that we can. Like, okay, I'm not going to say anything. Let's first get through the Vikings first, and then we can talk, right? Because it's winnable. Like, I do think that the Vikings is winnable. The Seahawks is winnable. It's just, can the Arizona Cardinals take advantage of it, right? Like, that's the biggest thing out there. Can the Arizona Cardinals come out and take advantage of the opportunities? And we have yet to see it at this very moment. Offense is perfect for Sean Payton. Well, one thing that we've been talking a lot about is that, like, bootlegs should be a thing, right? Bootlegs should be a thing when we get our tight ends more involved. Like, that should be a thing. There's absolutely no reason why on the week of National Tight End Day that Zach Ertz wasn't hugely involved, right? Every week we see Travis Kelce. Every week, well, not every week, but, you know, George Kittle ended up going crazy today with his stats. Man, Zach Ertz should be a lot more involved than he is. It's just true. Yeah, I agree with you, James. Culture. I think culture is huge. Let's see here. Vikings, one lose team off a bye. Let's catch them slipping. I hope so. That's all we're praying for, man. That's all we're praying for. It's all we're praying for at this very moment. All right. So let's do this. Thank you, everybody, for being here. This has absolutely been a pleasure. Sunday night, and we're here talking some Arizona Cardinals. And when our game was on Thursday, thank you, everybody, for coming through. Big shout out to Jose. Big shout out to Lennon. We got Arizona Cardinals, Saijin, James, Bird Gang family, AZ Cardinal fan. Appreciate you guys for coming through. Thanks a lot. We're going to go ahead and close up shop here pretty soon. Thanks, everybody, for coming through. I just wanted to kind of do a quick overglance of this NFC West. Do you guys think that the Arizona Cardinals can possibly lead this NFC West division sometime in this season? Because so far, everybody in our division, except for the Cardinals, has had the lead. Yes, we've been tied, but we've never had the actual lead. And I think that's kind of concerning as well, right? Do you think the Arizona Cardinals can chokehold this division and get these things right, especially now that DeAndre Hopkins is back? Let me know in the comments below, ladies and gentlemen. Right after this Vikings game, we got back-to-back division games, and it ain't going to be easy, ladies and gentlemen. But we're here. We're Cardinal fans. We've been through the ringer. We know what this is about. Thank you, everybody, for coming through. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day. We're going to be putting out content every single which way tomorrow. If we do come out with the trade, I'll be covering it. We're going to talk everything Arizona Cardinals for the rest of the year, guys. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe it up. Appreciate you guys for being here. Smack the like button if you guys haven't already. Thank you so very much for coming through. I will be watching the Phoenix Suns take on the Clippers here pretty soon, so I'm going to be ending the stream. Thank you, guys. Have a great rest of your day, and as always, go Cards.